Now, one person we did hear from today for the first time, Karen Reed herself, doubling down, of course, saying she did not do this. She wants to know who did.
Said it feels we're the only ones fighting for the truth of what happened to John O'Keefe. And me and my family and my attorneys and my team have marshaled every resource to get to the truth. It just feels like no one else wants it.
Karen, just to be clear, you didn't do it.
We know who did it, Steve. We know. And we know who spearheaded this cover-up. You all know.
Yes, we do.
And no, she didn't do it. No, she didn't do it. This is an innocent woman. She didn't do it.
I tried to save his life.
Yeah.
I tried to save his life at 6 in the morning. I was covered in the only one trying to save his life.
Why'd you admit to it?
She didn't admit to it. She didn't admit to anything close to that. Nothing close to that. And you should know that.
That was like 3 or 4 times she admitted to it.
No, she didn't.
That's not true.
She asked a question. She asked a question, which is very different. She didn't admit to anything.
Let's go.
You are listening to the Roberta Glass True Crime Report, putting the true back in true crime. From New York City, Roberta Glass is now on the record. Okay, I'm back. So what happened? I think it's the 2020 episode, which, I thought might happen. I'm not really sure why it was okay to show it on one video, not the other, but it's all right. Everything's okay. I'm back. But I really wanted to talk about this, I thought, fascinating blog by Innocence Fraud Watch about Karen Reed and her Facebook, why she was asking for access to John O'Keefe's Facebook 7 hours before she ran into him. That's what Innocence Fraud Watch writes. And I just wanted to show you. Hold on. Let me go up to the front. So this is the blog. The link is in the description of this episode. I encourage you to read it. Look at it yourself. Killer Karen Reed retrial. Why did Erderer want access to John O'Keefe's Facebook account 7 hours before she reversed into him? So it first starts out with some messages from Natalie Bernschneider-Wawicki. Okay, and it's who was very close in the beginning of this. Hold on one second. I'll get back to this. Who was basically the intermediary between Aidan Carney. If you can go back to my episodes, I did, I think 1 or 2, at least one very detailed episode about listening to Natalie Bernschneider-Wawicki's entire interview with the police for Aidan Carney's witness harassment case. I felt she didn't say everything that she knew, but she knew Karen Reed was very sympathetic towards Karen Reed and was really her first flying monkey in the Innocence Fraud campaign. So here she is talking about how this was a premeditated crime. And this is something that I've been thinking about all day, which is that John O'Keefe didn't wear a coat. And if you were dating John O'Keefe, you would have to think, like, if something happened to him, if he got locked out of his home, if something happened, that's like a little dangerous to never wear a warm winter coat in Canton, Mass can get pretty cold. She had to know that if she incapacitated him, as she says, that if he didn't come to, in that he would very soon die. She had to know that that if she clipped him with her car, it would be fatal. I think where I'm at right now, I think she had been fantasizing about doing it. Things in the relationship were very poor. She had been asked to leave the house, John O'Keefe's house. She refused. But here.
And then she sends this. Hey guys, without me saying too much, it is very unwise to assume that this death was not planned. The defense has more bombshells. So did Natalie write that? I don't know. Teaching John a lesson was the plan at a minimum.
Pretty interesting from someone who knew her. Let me just share my screen one more time and I'll get back into it. So I'm going to just be cutting in and out of Natalie Bernschneider-Wawicki told state troopers that Karen Read was heavily on Facebook and that Karen Read studies Facebook like no other. Referring to Karen Read's uses of Facebook, Natalie also told the police, and so that, meaning Facebook, was a very big tool for her. So if you were Karen Read's enemy, she went into your Facebook and pulled out anything she could to make you look unlikable, or to make ties between people in her case to show some kind of vague corruption. So let me just show you Natalie's short clip, and this was clipped by Innocence Fraud Watch on Rumble. This is the short clip of her interview. The whole interview, I encourage you to go back to my episode about Natalie Bernschneider-Wawicki, and her whole interview is very telling and interesting. But here.
Stupid me, I got involved with Sean on the golf. And then also with Scanlon, the reason why you're going to get all these screenshots is Karen and I went on Scanlon's Facebook page before Aiden. Okay, so we went on Scanlon's Facebook page and we did screenshots of every single photo he had and kept them because we knew that Karen was going to have Erica Davis go on the chat of Aiden's YouTube channel and just write, who's Steven Scanlon? And that's why when you see, if you've seen the Scanlon tape, how my name pops up, it's because Aiden texts me something like, who wrote Steven Scanlon on my text? And then I said, Erica Davis.
So Steve Scanlon was, I believe, some kind of law enforcement who got bamboozled by Aiden Carney's writing blogs, and Aiden Carney interviewed him, and he's like, well, how'd you know? And he's like, well, I heard it from you. It's like, it's your leak. It came from the mind of Karen Read. That's why Karen Read told you, and you wrote it, and I read it. So it was ultimately, he was given a check and he returned it by David Unetti, gave Steve Scanlon a check and he handed it back. But he was originally on board, bamboozled by Aiden Carney's.
And then It was because Karen told me, hey, can you text Erica Davis and tell her to just write who is Stephen Scanlon, because she wanted to stir the pot. And then Aiden called Stephen and recorded it. And then Aiden was like, oh my gosh, look what I have. And he set it as a private link. So you could only watch that. You couldn't go on his page and find it. It was a very private link.
So run that through me again, how Aiden became aware of Scanlon. It was the first time that he heard of it was on the comments on the YouTube Live?
No, Karen told us that that's how she put the story together, because that morning she was so confused and so hungover.
Yeah, but how'd she get it? How'd she get who Scanlon was?
Because he went to Yannetti's office. And and Scanlon said, like, this, there's something wrong with the story. They were beat up in the house. Somebody told me that he was beat up in the house.
But then Karen, knowing to put the out on social media, she directed you or to ask who is this Scanlon?
To scare Scanlon.
Why would Karen want to scare Scanlon?
Hopefully have him talk. I don't know.
And what was the why beforehand capture all his pictures?
Because Karen did that, especially with, like, that's how she was able to get all the pictures of the Alberts and the McCabe's and all those kids, and show that Proctor's mom wrote to Chris Albert, you guys are my second family. So Karen is heavily on Facebook and studies Facebook like no other. And so that was like a very big tool for her to realize that these folks really do know each other.
But it seems like Scanlon was important to her. So, yeah. But capturing Facebook pictures she could use against him? I don't know. No? Okay. We just did it. There was no rhyme or reason, or like, it was like.
She knew exactly how Karen Reed used those Facebook pictures against people. I wish they had pressed her a little bit more. I mean, she has a wealth of information. The fact that she's still silent, she's a wealth of information that could bury Karen Reed.
Like, let's just get all his pictures, as many as we can, before they're gone, before he locks his page or before he deletes it. Because I guess that's what happened with McCabe and Proctor, is they ended up like locking their pages or limiting it, and not making it a public page.
Okay, so that's how Karen Reed works. So why did she want to get on John O'Keefe's Facebook page after blocking him for over a year? He's like, you blocked me a year ago, if you look at their text messages. Facebook is a really big tool for her. Countdown to Erder. At 2:25 p.m., Karen Reed messaged John O'Keefe, tell me if you're interested in someone else. Can't think of any other reason you've been like this. Can't be me and my behavior, right? It's got to be someone else. At 3:32 p.m., Karen Reed sent John O'Keefe a friend request on Facebook, along with a Facebook message reading, hello. At 3:35, John O'Keefe replied to Karen, hi. At 5:32, referring to her 3:32 Facebook friend request, Karen sent John the following message, are you really not going to accept my friend request? Followed at 5:33 p.m. with, yeah, we have been going out for 2 years. John O'Keefe replied to Karen at 5:33 stating, on what, Facebook? I haven't gone on. You defriended me over a year ago, I believe. Why and when exactly did Karen Reed defriend John O'Keefe on Facebook? Did John eventually accept Karen's 28th of January Facebook friend request? And what did Karen's Facebook activity show on the 28th and 29th of January 2022 and before this date? Have Massachusetts State Police requested data directly from Facebook to find out? What did Paul O'Keefe uncover? According to a blog by innocence fraudster Aidan Turtleboy Carney, which he published on the 18th of May, 2023, headed Canton Cover-Up, Part 34, John O'Keefe's brother doesn't believe Karen Reed murdered him, is happy the FBI is investigating other leads. He sent a message to John O'Keefe's Facebook account on the 29th of April, 2023. And according to Aidan Carney, Paul O'Keefe replied from his brother's Facebook account on the 14th of May, 2023. On April 29th, 2023, I DM'd John O'Keefe's Facebook page after noticing that it was still active. Someone is clearly running it, and there are possible messages in that account that show John's private thoughts about his relationship with Karen that could shed light on whether or not their relationship was really on the rocks, as the Commonwealth has alleged. Like you're going to write that on Facebook. Status update. Relationship on the rocks. I didn't hear back from the account until Sunday night, May 14th. It turned out to be John's brother, Paul, who attends every court hearing and fully supports the prosecution of Karen Reed. He and I had a long conversation that was quite revealing, and he never asked to have the conversation off the record. I did tell him I would keep it private for now, but I also believe that he is being taken advantage of and manipulated by the Norfolk County DA's office, and our conversation reveals that. Or he won't be manipulated by Karen Reed's innocence fraud campaign, and his conversation reflects that. The Alone was written and published by Aidan Turtleboy Carney on the 18th of May, 2023, when the header, okay, we know the title. What did Paul O'Keefe uncover on his brother's Facebook account in relation to Karen Reed? Okay, we'll get into that in a second. Blast from the past. And was it Karen who first reached out to John with the "Hey, blast from the past, how's things" Facebook message? On what date exactly did John O'Keefe and Karen Reed communicate on Facebook first? And who reached out to who? So she says he reached out to her. Tap on the buttons to really read more. So I thought that was just some really interesting, thought-provoking stuff about Karen. I mean, I knew about Karen Reed's use of Facebook. I knew that she had blocked him, but I didn't realize that Natalie Bernschneider-Rewicki had written that. And I think that, one of the things that Karen Reed said in that 2020 interview is that it got serious very fast. And you'd think I'm sure she love bombed him. And it did get serious, but they never talked about marriage. So it seems like in 2 years, that's about the time, if it starts out getting serious very quickly, and in 2 years, there's no talk about marriage or even moving in, you would assume that there may be differences that can't be reconciled between the two. So thought that was something I just wanted to cover quickly. Also, we have some of your comments. Let's just get into them.
We got you coming. You had something to say. You were insightful. Oh, so clever. So Roberta's going to read your comments. Hey, Roberta, read those comments.
Okay, Bakita 711 says she ordered a guy who wanted to leave her. That's not abandonment issues. No, I don't see it as abandonment issues, Bakita. I see it as you don't leave me. I have the final word. And this is the ultimate expression of power, is I decide who lives and dies. That's what it's about. I don't think it's that she was afraid of him leaving her. It's that how dare he try to leave her. I think you see that a lot with different. Cassio Ware says retrial is always beneficial to the prosecution. Let's hope they will trim out and clearly establish the timeline and clearly establish that arm abrasions are the result of the vehicular collision. Yeah, I've seen Boundless Millennial had a really compelling picture where he shows the grade of the SUV compared to John O'Keefe's arm. And certainly looks like it could be from that. One more. I think Lazy Susan says, I think the man in the intro who asked, then why did she admit to it? My favorite. I could listen to that all day. Why did she admit to it? Like 3 or 4 times. 3 or 4 times she did. Maybe John or Paul O'Keefe's best friend. He was in court nearly every day until, from what I understand, Karen accused him of bumping her in a stairwell. Oh, I'm sure. Although I may be misremembering that part. In any case, I sure don't think Karen and her posse anticipated that question during her stage press conference. They sure didn't. And they didn't anticipate Karen's answer either. No, she didn't do it. Wait. You missed the key element, Karen, that you didn't do it. We all know. I was the only one trying to save his life by jumping on him and not doing anything that would remotely save his life. Lifting up my shirt, straddling him, never clearing his airway, doing mouth to mouth in a way that would have no effect whatsoever. Lou Coldfax says that is Carl Dugal, John's friend. Is it? Anyone know for sure? And I think I'm just going to keep it short. That's really what I really just wanted to show you. Let's look at this before I go. One more thing before I go. What did Paul O'Keefe uncover about John O'Keefe's Facebook page by having access to it? Here we go. Killer Karen Reed retrial. This is again from Innocence Fraud Watch. Will Paul O'Keefe tell second jury or public what he uncovered on his brother John O'Keefe's Facebook account? So this is just what we read, that Aidan Carney got in touch with the Facebook account and heard back from Paul. There are also possibly messages in John O'Keefe's Facebook from Karen Reed that could shed light on her private thoughts. Good point. During a 2023 TV show called Nightline with ABC's Matt Gutman, Karen Reed stated that it was John O'Keefe who sent her the following message: "Hey, blast from the past, how's things?" Did ABC's Nightline and Matt Gutman ask for receipts before TV show aired? What? No, they didn't. How much do you want to bet they didn't? They just take Karen Reed said, we have one source saying that John O'Keefe reached out to her. We can't ask John O'Keefe, so we just go with it. What did Paul O'Keefe uncover? Did his brother reach out to Karen Reed, or did she reach out to John O'Keefe? And when will the public get to see any actual evidence to support Karen Reed's assertion that she dated John O'Keefe in her 20s? Did Massachusetts State Police or others request data directly from Facebook? She was using Facebook on the 28th of January, 2022, but did she use her Facebook account or the internet at any time on the 29th of January, 2022? All good questions. So that's where I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about that coat, John O'Keefe's coat, and his habit of not wearing coat. That's what I've been thinking about all day. She had you couldn't miss that if you were with someone, and that had to stick in her mind. So I'm for the latest news from Charlie. Hi, Julie. I know we have a trial for talking about the Adelson case for Donna Adelson in June. I'm for Roberta. The latest news from Charlie's motion to change venue for new trial being denied. Life is good. Sorry, but not sorry for you, child. So he's not getting a new trial. I didn't think he was going to get a new trial. I thought that was ridiculous. Yeah, thanks, July. I'll have to look that up. I haven't read that yet, but I was not surprised. I know that Carl was saying that he was going to get a new trial, but I don't think he is, and I don't think you can show that he was so tainted. But we have Karen Reed's trial in April, then we have Donna's trial in June. So a wealth of good trials coming up. Does anybody have anything they want to ask me before I go? I know I watched Donna Adelson's hearing. It was very short and nothing to really respond about. I mean, it's like, she's got a whole new team of lawyers. Let's see how they do. I think this benefits her for sure. The break. So anyway, I just wanted to come back and finish it out and show you those pretty compelling tidbits. Have a great night, everyone. I'm off tomorrow, but I'll be back on Saturday at 6 p.m. Eastern. Have a great Friday, everyone. See you Saturday at 6.
I hit my boyfriend with my car. It wasn't an accident, but with lying lawyers I'll go far. Lying lawyers and witness harassment, I'll avoid prison. It was snowing. I pushed the pedal down, hit him hard. Now the legal system a clown. Innocence fraud campaign to save my skin. Making money, truth is my second victim. Carry, Jen, like John, you were my mom. My innocence fraud campaign is my biggest hit yet. I hit my boyfriend with my car. It wasn't an accident, but with lying lawyers I'll go far. Lying lawyers and witness harassment, I'll avoid prison. It was snowing. I pushed the pedal down, hit him hard. Now the legal system a clown. Innocence fraud campaign to save my skin. Making money, truth is my second victim. Carry, Jen, like John, you John, you were my wall. My innocence fraud campaign is my biggest hit yet.